Hi everyone, I'm Mark from the founder of Universal Asylum. Oh shit, and I'm really not up to this right now. Which is an anti-oppressive, well, it holds a legitimate claim to a anti-oppressive, all-inclusive, leaderless system of governance, which was inspired in 2007 when I began my social work degree, and was informed that we didn't have enough of my children's generation to look after my parents' generation, which was likely to end up, considering the governments don't have any fucking plans for our ageing populations, is likely to result in genocide, or World War III and ecological collapse were the three biggest concerns we were immediately made aware of. And that is a long story, the development over, 17 years in the making, and of course no one's interested in it because it's not about making money. Like I'm a social worker, I can't use computers for shit. I can design an ethical system and try to fucking encourage the fact that we fucking need it to be safe and ethical, which has just been demonstrated by the fact that whilst no one else is listening, I appear to, I've been hacked like something out of a movie. I've lost control of Universal Asylum's website. I've lost control of everything. It's like something out of a fucking movie. So it's forced me to go live on this matter. I'm trying to get an urgent message to all world governments at once. When I last looked at the Universal Asylum website, it remained unchanged. However, that could change. It could disappear at any moment, which is why it's complicated, an already complicated, thing. I got arrested the other night for an attempt, a little bit more of a rushed attempt before Trump got in. I got arrested for publicly, basically what they call publicly displaying a swastika. Now, I don't know whether it meets the definition of a swastika. It wasn't meant to be. If I was confronted with the right questions, they would know that I was acting with pure intentions within the law within South Australia that permits artistic and educational use of swastikas. Although, this is obviously not a swastika. This is a crucifix with, not sure whether they're 4 big black throbbing cocks or whether they're 4 dildos. And yeah, there's some little white cocks. As far as I know, that you're not allowed to spread hate or anything, and I think I need to acknowledge at first, the Jewish community, and who I'm sticking up and for, as well as, one of the groups I'm sticking up for, as well as trying to prevent the US committing a genocide, which, after about a decade of thorough investigations, which started before that, but I can prove, basically science hasn't been allowed to study a particular group of substances that the UN and World Health Organization made legislation in 1971 which make them bioterrorists by their own definitions. And that's a big complex thing. Now, terror is written in quite subtle manner, and genocide is written quite bold. Now, they both can either be interchangeable in, you know, either having a really insidious, toxic nature. You know, it's very, I understand that the, you know, swastikas have a lot of pain for the Jewish community. I've been privileged to do some work with the Melbourne Holocaust Museum and interview, it was 10 years ago, but I believe it was Ab who was on TV the other night. I actually haven't done anything with the footage because partly I haven't got around to it, and it's something that I feel needed to be done respectively. I'm also credited in some of their work. I mean, this display also has other cultural, it has a lot of complex, it's a complex subject. When you've got like a world with, I don't know how many countries, I only know one world leader, who is making some extremely dangerous moves. And I really, after attempting for many years, I've had many attempts to try and advocate for a treatment for COVID. I've undertaken I've basically undertaken full-scale medical research into the set of substances that the World Health Organization and UN will not allow science to study. And countless scientists have been murdered over this subject. Now, it gets kind of complicated because of the insidious. If you type in religious extremism and terrorism, I think, like a simple basic text, it comes up with every single religion, except one with a crucifix. And what I find very interesting and like equally fucking why you know, like one of the things I remember, what pertinent things, I haven't looked back at that footage, and there's a lot of stuff that probably, I've got questions now, probably wasn't equipped to know. I've learned a lot about Germany prior to the Holocaust and stuff that I just never expected. It's quite, you know, the questions I wouldn't have thought to ask. And, you know, I've just always associated the Germans with the Holocaust, but I don't believe the majority of Germans leading up to that were, I believe they had more in common. What I find interesting about Hitler is he was a fucking Protestant. So why did he put, you know, like, so you got the swastika, which was, you know, symbol of peace and love or whatever, to countless. I've been surprised. I haven't looked, I was scared to even look it up. I didn't know about. I'm stupid. Like, I designed this fucking leaderless system of governance. Like, I'm like, what are they? I think the indigenous people somewhere have like some sort of saying. It's like the kids you don't look after or abuse or neglect, like, is the one that burns the city to the ground. And figuratively speaking, like, maybe I'm that white kid that rejected, you know, a culture that I knew was wrong right from the start. And, you know, and in ways I've sort of experienced similar, you know, stuff through the war on drugs and stuff like that, you know, sort of having to live in fear and needlessly watching people fucking die. It's a bit like different. Oh, fucking see, now I got off fucking track. But yeah, that was one of the pertinent things, like this, the secrecy. I don't know what the and I've been hacked so bad that I can't even look shit up and know that it's reliable, and I'm unsure how long I've been hacked. I know I'm right enough about right enough things, and I know the evidence that I've got, like, yeah, inconclusively, like, I mean, everyone knows we're not fucking idiots. Like, America has done it for fucking, it's like they speak to the world like we're fucking idiots. And after doing this, oh, I'm pretty proud of the level of scientific fucking research, but it's hard. Like, you're just a social worker. Like, what would you know? You're not a doctor, you're not a scientist. It's like, yeah, but the doctors and scientists aren't allowed to study it. Like, something that's non-toxic has a shitload, and that's where it becomes, you know, apparently about 170 scientists got murdered that were all looking at the same thing. I believe sort of somewhere, it was leading up to the Nixon government, in those sort of 10 years before they put that blanket ban. But when they put that blanket ban on, some scientists wouldn't have enough sort of the right, I suppose, prereq knowledge to know what's what. But there's enough science to prove not only that these substances had massive health effects, but that their nutritional they're essential. Their nutritional deprivation leads to the degeneration of a genetic fucking composition. You know, and when I last looked, I'd done a fair good job mapping that out throughout my research. It's sort of, I mean, it was weird. I sat down to don't even know whether I should go back to the very start. But I sat down like a year ago after I had to have a break because I did these insane experiments with like results. So basically I come up with the ayahuasca assisted. So I crashed my motorbike and ended up stuck on fucking hydrocodone, and you know, anyone who knows about opiates knows that they're really fucking awful to come off. And I come up with this idea. I found some Narcan, which for those who don't know, is what they use to bring people back from heroin overdoses, and it puts people, it'll you know, get someone from dead to alive if you get it into them quick enough, but they won't be happy about it. It's fucking painful. But they do use that. Not many people do it, but it has been used for rapid detoxification, and they pump every symptomatic medication they can into you. I know 2 people who've done it, and it fucking, yeah, is one of the most fucking awful things that they've done. So I come up with this idea that if I drank ayahuasca and then administered Narcan, we basically knock the opiates off the opiate receptors and increase the power and efficiency of sort of autoimmune and metabolic systems by about 10-fold, and they would metabolize the opiates, and it worked. 12 hours later, I was completely detoxed, and of course, I didn't think to take a piss sample. Everyone who knew me knew I was telling the truth, but couldn't exactly prove it, even though the video's online. And it was not a sign of withdrawal. Like, I'd prepared for like intense purging. I wish I'd written in my hypothesis, alternately, there could be no withdrawal, but I didn't. And that was what made it so fucking profound. Like, yeah, normally you'd go into like the equivalent of a fucking hypertensive crisis, but yeah, I didn't break a sweat. It was so then, because no one fucking was excited as I was, I reversed it and basically designed a what did I call it? Like a research model, which I called the metabolic implications of psychedelics against drug fucking metabolization. It was on the Universal website, hopefully still is. So then I had to go out and buy black market opiates and get myself addicted to them and learn all about how to take blood and buy centrifuges and medical equipment and fucking like everything I needed to plan full-scale experiments using mescaline cactuses and psilocybin mushrooms and ayahuasca, all 3 of which it wasn't possible, no matter how much Narcan that I consumed, it wasn't possible to even change my blood pressure, let alone actually that's not 100% true. There was I did one fucking really stupid thing, but that doesn't really count. And I won't go into that now, it doesn't matter, but it, you know, it wasn't fucking pure Narcan. But with straight Narcan, yeah, I didn't break a sweat or even my blood pressure change. It was incredible, and I've got full samples of all of that. So if I was going to ask for charities to, you know, because it was all documented very thoroughly, and you know, I ticked the I, and what did they say, cross the T's and dotted the I's, and you know, but if I'm going to ask for help, I needed to at least try to do the considerations, which, yeah, opened up a can of worms that I didn't realise. Now, I'd already, so Universal Asylum's been investigated by counter-terrorism several years ago after staking its claim in the traditional manner. Like, you know, I'm a white fucking... I'm the opposite to the white supremacists. But I did it the white way. Did it the right way or the white way. So I went and got the white degree and use the available fucking technology to try and come up with a system to, like, the name, even the name, it took me forever to fucking work out what to call it. You know, and at first I didn't set out to design a system of governance. I always knew it was needed mass, like holistic fucking social reform, otherwise we're all fucked. But like, how do you make it fucking help like everyone? And not just everyone, everything, universal asylum, you know, like fucking a place of refuge for everyone, except for fucking white cunts with little cocks who want to build big walls and fucking put black people in chains. They can, like, you know, it's hard, like, I'm not allowed to have a symbol, and, you know, like, fuck, I've got so much fucking hatred and pain, and, you know, I'm trying to fucking channel that into, you know, preventing this shit. And it's been terrifying because, like, I didn't know, that's right, I jump around, I'm not medicated properly because I suggested Indigenous people actually know stuff, and, you know, of course, that's a really good way of getting classified fucking crazy. So they took me off the medications that I was able to complete a fucking 4-year degree in, even though my literacy skills are shit because I spent most of my time in school in time out, because that's what they do when you question authority. And you know, I was one of the kids that got made an example of, and yeah, it's sort of you know, I could have channeled that in really negative directions, but I'm trying my hardest not to. And I'm petrified. I know I'm going to get fucking crucified one way or another if I actually ever succeed. And the doctors don't get it. They all, like, the doctors are really fucking arrogant white cunts who fucking know it all. And they think I want to be the leaderless system of governance. And, like, in a sense, someone has to come up with a fucking idea. Someone's got to, like, try and present it to the fucking world. And, like, so how do you lead the world to leaderless? For a start, like, Universal Asylum is anti-oppressive. I don't even know if I'm comfortable calling it a system of governance. It certainly doesn't have a law against the swastika, and that's you know, maybe I need to start by saying I'm not the person who, like, who should be making that making that decision. There's so much I don't know, and I mean, one of the things I don't know is, and that was one of the pertinent things with the Jewish community who I interviewed, having to live in fear and secrecy, and it was sort of I haven't been able to look it up because now I'm hacked so badly, like, and hacked so bad, like, if I type in, what do you do when AI gaslights you? I've got fucking screenshots of it just gaslights. Fuck it. Like, it's like they can fucking alter any website that I go into. It's fucking, like, so that's the result. I believe it was Wikipedia, who are in a dangerous fucking position. Now, I thought, and I was so stupid, like, I'm predictable because I try to do the right thing. And I forget sometimes organisations, and then how do you compete with that in a world full of fucking like fake cunts who pretend to be doing right, like the World Health Organization? There's two. I don't believe they can claim ignorance. They know what they're doing. They are terrorists. They know we do not. I've got a US patent that proves that in 2020, it was lodged, that proves that the substances that science isn't allowed to study. So, TRYPT, which dates back, that's what I got used. The hard thing about what order to speak to, and that's where I got flustered with the police. I had like 5 cops just boom, 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 a bit too aggressively trying to ask questions, and they should have been able to work it out. It's like I'm trying to raise the alert about a genocide, but it's not the first genocide, and it does relate back to TRYPT, which I had no idea that the Germans were, throughout the 1800s, the Germans had the best education system in the history of mankind. We haven't been able to fucking match it. Interestingly, like they didn't use their own language. That's a really interesting thing. They looked back and, you know, like used what, Greek and Latin, and come up with these like amazing sort of algebraic type systems of nomenclature, or however the fuck you say it, because they were ending up with like 50-letter words for plants, and they hadn't even started fucking naming them. Now, no one's allowed to know. Now, tryptophan is the most important amino acid. But no one, the biggest fucking secret that, and I can't get over how many people can't even see like the problem that no one's allowed to fucking know it. And then TRYPT-amines are so heavily restricted. They're not just like, it's easier to get a fucking permit to to study uranium than fucking tryptamines. They're blanket banned. Like, the science says they're non-toxic. You cannot overdose on them scientifically. Science has not proven they're not fucking dangerous. Like, they can be dangerous, particularly if you mix certain ones with Western medicine. But that's arguably more Western medicine being the dangerous thing. And obviously, you know, inexperience and, you know, doing them in a responsible manner. You know, people can get into trouble. They are sort of serious, but, you know, approached in a responsible manner, they're about the healthiest fucking thing we can do. And, Germany had categorized quite a lot. They'd categorized so much that it couldn't be completely erased. Now, there's a lot of missing information, which looks very much like America stole, and has done everything they can to bury. Now, that's my conspiracy theory, like, it's sort of, and there's evidence that fucking America funded Hitler and all of that shit. So, and I didn't realise, so I had no idea, and like all of a sudden I come across this scientist, Willem Kuhn, and it was just the way they talked about him like he was a dumb cunt. And then it's like Americans do it, man. It's like they do it so well. And I don't know whether they really believe people are that fucking stupid that they can't see through it, and some people can't. But like, yeah, you got like, I think he was Nobel Prize winning, but he was like, they just acted like he was a dumb cunt who just pulled fucking names out of hats and shit, and sort of focused on, like, he's most famous for naming the enzyme, but it's far from his most significant work. And there's a lot of stuff that you can't find, and then there's scientists that you can't get any information on. It's fucking very interesting, and it depends what you read. Like, there's like DNA and stuff was sort of discovered sort of mid 1800s, but the system they developed was very, it categorized things, so then it crossed over into the plant world, because you got fucking the amines fucking go through everything in the circle of fucking life. But then you've got all your different systems within your body, and what I didn't expect was it started off with my opiate research. I noticed a crossover, the same. See, when I originally advocated and done my original hypothesis, I didn't have an understanding of a lot of the words. I understood what neuroregenerative meant. I understood what increases like fucking autoimmune and functions and regulation of inflammatory systems. Like, I understood like the English bits, but I didn't know what the fucking TH fucking 17 plus cells were, or CD fucking 4s and dendritic and fucking, like, I found the important bits that I needed to know, but like sort of left the rest and didn't go too much. And you know, there was enough science to advocate for emergency authorities to have it explored as a viable COVID treatment. That got me locked in a psych ward for fucking 6 fucking weeks and labelled crazy and taken off my medication, which really hasn't fucking helped anything. And once you've been labelled crazy, you can't get rid of it. You know, because fucking like Indigenous people couldn't know something that fucking white cunts fucking do. Oh yeah. I get confused with some of the work. Like, I'm credited on some of the work at the Melbourne Holocaust Museum, and which may have been the William Cooper yeah, so like March, what was I thinking? So yeah, like educational, it's supposed to be educational. Like, so who was the first person to stick up for the Jews during the Holocaust? Fucking William Cooper. Hope I've got that name right. Pretty sure. Haven't. I'm working off 10 years ago memories. I'm pretty sure I'm fucking right. And he was an Aboriginal man who marched upon the embassy, I believe, before we considered Aboriginals fucking human, or yeah, before they had any rights and were able to fucking vote. And I believe he was the first person to like formally stand up for against the Holocaust. You know, the rest of the world just stood by, like, and I'm sure there was a lot of people in Germany that were against it. I had no idea that Germany had quite a great culture. I didn't know that they were very like accepting of you know, transsexuals and, you know, yeah, I guess diversity. Fucking people allowed to be what they organically fucking want to be. And their education system was very was very good. Like what they developed was amazing, and it sort of, you know, it sort of drew from the past to evolve in the future and be able to adjust so it would remain accurate in a very advanced manner that, you know, was superior to their own language, and I guess in a manner probably advanced their use of language and stuff like that. And they weren't fucking like, they were supportive of helping one another learn, so everyone lifting each other up, rather than like secretive of their, like trying to do their work and not like sharing it. Like, yeah, so they were sort of doing science for the right reasons, all the right reasons. So that is great culture in a lot of ways. But they had two, both Germans and the Jewish community, just didn't want a bar of Christianity being shoved down their throat constantly, and, you know, trying to convert them. And I just find it interesting why Hitler, as a Protestant, didn't have a fucking crucifix on his planes. You know? And I think some of the, I mean, like I said, Universal Asylum doesn't have laws on it yet. It doesn't have time for that shit. It's trying to get, like, even if the website might disappear, in which case it would be really great if you know, I haven't approached the Australian government because I don't trust governments. I don't even know who, is it the dude who had like the pensioner mum who's still in power? I don't fucking know. Only leader I know that's in power is Trump, who, and that's the only country now which, at this stage, now there's an extensive list of those that are classed as terrorists and under suspicion of terrorism, including the Australian government. It's important to put the message out to all governments at once. You know, I'm not going to sneak around and fucking, like, you know, to try and work together globally. And I understand, look, fuck, the amount of pain, like, oh, you got countless countries who have been killing each other for fucking hundreds of years, thousands even. You know, like, it's not a fucking easy job. Like, and I'm not, you know, I'm not going to hate China because I know China didn't cause the same evidence that proves that America caused, they caused COVID. And it caused most of this sickness. Now, the patent that was lodged in 2020 proves TRYPT-amines, which no one's allowed to study, which the Germany had basically worked out were essential amino acids. So basically what we have is we have two configurations of amino acids, sort of, or amino acid configurations that, so just with your tryptamine, tryptophan, is your standard configuration. Now that'll run most of your system, some RNA processing, where you need to add tryptamines to, wow, I can't believe some of the stuff that I didn't know, like 9 months ago, I sort of barely even, like, I knew what a fucking DMT molecule fucking drawing looked like, but I didn't, fuck, what I've had to cover to go through, yeah. So basically, it's like the equal opposite, and the tryptamines basically facilitate a secondary fucking configuration which enhances the power and efficiency of your entire system by like tenfold, and that's conservative. Like, they're extremely powerful, and I don't know that it should be called medicine. And tryptophan is female, tryptamine is male, but males and females both need both. Tryptamine is also the state, it's weird, like mutation has a dirty sort of name, but it's a evolutionary, like regenerative type thing. So just on tryptophan alone, if you're starved of tryptamines, certain proteins build up and they're not used, and we're unable to do hardcore RNA processing, particularly with the TH17 and the 4s and the dendritic fucking cell groups and stuff like that, and then causes cascades of things becoming blocked up, and it's very confusing for science, because a lot of, you know, they say there's good bacteria and bad bacteria. Now, once you take one thing out, you often get a seesaw effect, which can become quite confusing, because then you end up with a build-up with bacteria somewhere else, because, say, you don't have a certain bacteria where it's meant to be. And then you get some scientists like trying to kill all the bacteria because, like, we're such dumb cunts that we can't realise that we actually were healthy when we lived out in a fucking environment. Interesting, it's sort of, you know, like some of the like passive natures of terror, you know, I've sort of it's been good to get artistic and be a bit creative, you know, like we've got the COVID, like, you know, we didn't need the vaccine, and America knew it. America also knew via that patent, they knew that China didn't cause COVID. The UN policy caused fucking COVID. And the World Health Organization policy caused COVID. Also causes a bacterial. So then you've got like the R's are like little like bacteria or parasites. You have the same things with them. It gets kind of complicated because you've got lots of them and you've got all these fucking chemicals and shit that balance each other out. Like you'll have like a fucking bacteria that eats fucking a metal and then farts out a fucking methane, and then another fucking bacteria that eats the fucking methane fart and turns it into fucking whatever. And like really complicated processes that balance each other out. The tryptamines activate like a really big one that just like a deep clean with, yeah, which I've written about very extensively and learned a lot about a lot of fucking things that I didn't anticipate. I've got fucking fuckloads of, probably cost $500,000 to test the samples. I've identified a few things that are likely to be in those samples. And I'm pretty proud of, considering that I'm just a fucking social worker and shit. Like, and I've had to really, like, it's sort of stretched into, I didn't expect it, like part of that secondary configuration is, like, I didn't realise that that they were sort of nuclear processes that, well, sort of, they're nuclear processes that fucking do our genetic splicing and stuff like that. I mean, the basic standard one uses Feynman and shit like that. But it looks like, what it looks like, pretty sold on it, is that the tryptamine, and that's what no one could even get, like, they're fucking even named TRYPT, a fan, and then amine, they belong together. Like, trying to figure out the algebra and how complex it is, and being the head, so they're the main two of the whole amino acid system, that otherwise doesn't really make sense. Yet one's classed a dangerous fucking drug that science isn't even allowed to study, and no one questions why. And even people they don't even think that it's odd that science has all these rules on naming shit, but no one's allowed to name it, to know what the name is. Then you look at, after all, the world, once they'd fucking like created all this chaos, put the peace symbol, made everyone hate this peace symbol, even though the cunt fucking doing it was a fucking Protestant. Like, you read some of like how, like, America, instead of coming up with a sensible system, they take the piss out of it in the records. They're like, oh, I will arbitrarily name it fucking T, or so it doesn't get confused, because this, like, what they did was the science was very similar, like looking at the nuclear cell stuff, health, and we can make people healthy, and then we sort of could also use it to make nuclear weapons. It sort of divided, and then science divided, and they've made it, it's like an impossible puzzle, and it's like that particular document, it's like they're laughing about it as they make the fucking puzzle. Like, and look, that's the one thing I've discovered so much from fucking, like, I had no idea that, and that we make fucking, that we consume so many metals, and that we make carbon fucking alloy coated nanotubes when we consume tryptamines. And that's scientifically known. Like, science is all fucking jacking off over fucking nanotubes and their interactions with amino acids, and they're too stupid to realise that fucking, like, half the animals and humans we eat this shit. I had no idea, like, through eating things like cabbage or whatever, like, I forget which nuclear fucking metals and shit that we eat from which plants, but it's pretty fucking full on. But we eat them for a reason. And when we don't have, or are deprived of regular consumption, because the patent basically says, it only mentions RNA 3 times in a 115-page patent. But it basically says if you eat them weekly, which is what most of the indigenous cultures did, it will resolve all RNA processing issues. And then it lists like a bunch of fucking RNA fucking processes that, like, are sort of coded and don't really mean fuck all to most people unless you take the time to read the science. And if you read the science, now when the politicians say trust the science, now they're just puppet cunts who are betting on the fact that most people are too overworked to fucking read the science, and even if they did, they are unlikely to understand what's relevant. Even myself, like, I was working backwards because I had enough experience, which is documented, like, you know, basically, like, life destroyed me to the point that I threw myself into to exploring the therapeutic value of those substances in a critical state of fucking health. You know, which was what I told the fucking drug squad fucking 8 years ago. If I need a reference to fucking, you know, whether or not I've been undertaking, I've been trying to get part of it. You know, I mean, I've declared global authority to do so as part of the terror or, you know, inquiries, which initially I'd named the world governments I declared them criminal organisations that were guilty of criminal negligence due to ignoring recommendations for my whole fucking life. My whole life I've been watching professionals tell governments to abandon the war on drugs because the war on drugs is a problem, not the drugs. Yet our fucking political system has been, to the expense of fucking everyone, they just will not budge on it. But I thought it was just like financially motivated. I didn't realise that they not, yeah, I probably, I didn't realise the anti-vaxxers were fucking right, that it was more sinister than that. I probably did realise sort of the flip side of something that regenerates your health and contributes to your development. The consequence of not eating that is, you know, degeneration and, you know, you start adding that up. And that's, you got scientists looking for the gene, the problem gene. It's not a fucking problem gene, it's a fucking nutritional fucking deprivation which is causing the fucking problem. I'd be really interested in, like, to figure it out. If I could get a team with someone who knew, like, algebra, fucking, like, all the rules and back doors, I could probably figure it all out. But I believe the T's fit in with tungsten, and there's evidence of fucking, like, America changing a lot of things just to make it fucking an impossible problem to solve. And it doesn't matter, you know, I've got too caught up in trying to solve that. When, you know, for quite a long time, I've had enough evidence to rule the American government and World Health Organization terrorists by their own definition. And that's where, you know, some of the subtle fucking things. So you confuse the fuck out of science by removing someone from the diet, then you create this disbalance. Because you have these things called, like, fuck, I'd never heard of the cunts, bacteriophages. And they're fucking, like, gulp up fucking bacteria and shit. But you have different ones because you've got, like, a range of them. And TRYPT-amines activate the fucking big cunts. And they'll smash COVID. I took their fucking, I've never took a vaccine in my life. I took it because my poor mum's so fucking stressed out. Like, she's so worried I'm gonna get killed over fucking, I'm worried fucking she's gonna get killed because of fucking, you know, little guy, like, white cunts with little cocks who are planning to fucking, you know, and their crosses, you know. And what do? I personally, I don't know how I feel about banning symbols. It's sort of, I think, you know, sensitivity around you know, certainly the ones that, I don't know, I probably need to speak more. You know, I understand that are like current legislations for the primitive governments that are going to fucking result in our demise. You know, they have consulted with the Jewish community, and but there isn't any clear definitions of like what swastikas, and to flip it around, like, I don't know. That's part of the reason I don't know is because I'm hacked and I can't look it up. But I remember the secrecy so much that they lived in fear and couldn't. They were scared they were going to get killed. They couldn't admit to being Jews. So I don't even know what a Jewish symbol is. But if you turn the situation around, and if Hitler put the Jewish symbol on his planes and went and fucking killed someone else, I don't know, like, and I guess it sort of becomes complicated because the symbol's meant to be of love. It's been violated. The Germans have been violated. I'm embarrassed to admit that I've never. Maybe it come up in university because that was something that come up very early in degree, but perhaps a little bit too early for me to like pick up on some of them details or for them to stick. They were careful not to say it in the same room. And that was one of the things that really the fear in the lecturers, you know, when they spoke of how governments were likely to handle. They basically said they were expecting a genocide without saying it. And I don't know that, you know, like half the people doing that degree were fucking middle class fucking chicks who saw the fucking word social and thought that would be a great career. And, you know, I was one of the sort of late 20s with a bit of life experience, but like fucking I didn't know about that problem, and that was the one that really rocked me, even though like the other global threats. And that's the other thing. The world, according to the UN, methane is our biggest fucking climate change. Guess what causes methane? Not having imbalances in our gut, or how many billion? 8 billion people with bacterial fucking imbalances because they're suffering from nutritional deprivation. Another very coincidental discovery I sort of made. Early in my research, I bought my Python pet, Psychotria, and so Psychotria is like this Amazonian fucking shrub with dimethyltryptamine in it, and you know, like, which is one of the two main ingredients in ayahuasca, and that so I named it Psychotria. I was going to get a male and call him Cappy, which is the other main ingredient, but I never did, and I don't really believe in breeding captive animals anymore. Turns out she got sick, and pythons and boas are the same. They differ from ground-dwelling snakes, and I'm not sure whether it's because they have skin content. Like Australian trees are all full of, like wattles are all fucking full of DMT, and the birds eat the seeds, which seeds often have a high concentrate of similar sort of things. So pythons are more likely to eat the fucking birds. So I'm not 100% sure whether it's the diet or the skin contact, but they required, if you put them in captivity for 8 years, they will become sick. And the scientists for 40 years are trying to figure out which virus it is, and of course there's fucking all these viruses and they're all confused because none of their fucking research matches up, because there's this massive bias in science, and it's biased like the whole medical industry, because they've only been studying humans based on running at our lowest capacity. And they've made us all sick, and terror, that subtle form of terror. So they make us scared of the virus. Oh, fucking those vaccines, I took them to make mum feel better, because I'm like, she's got that much, she's so fucked, man. And I'm scared she's going to get murdered. So it's like, fuck, you know, what do you do? I took the fucking, I took way too many. I took 3 of the cunts. And when I got COVID, I got so, like, that was got me fucking sick. And I had 1 dose of ayahuasca in the fridge. I got the COVID, I tested positive at in the afternoon, 3 or 4. Did what I could do, and then I think I dosed around 6. And I was, by 6 or 8 or whatever, I was fucked. Completely fucked. And it took away all the symptoms, absolutely all of them, and was great until it wore off and I was too sick to make any more. Magic mushrooms also took away all the symptoms of COVID. 2 years after I was locked up for suggesting that it might be a viable treatment, a paper come out that actually had COVID in the name, and that's been one of the difficult fucking problems, like even trying to, put through an argument like legally and go, the evidence is there, but how do you give the police fucking medical science? And then eventually I found this fucking patent that they didn't really want to be found. It was sort of accidentally through the PubChem website got into some database, and I didn't even know what the fuck it was. And then I opened it up and it was like, wow, this lit, and that, I see a lot of stuff because you're not allowed to study these substances. So you've got to use ones that are similar, which makes it even harder when you're talking to a legal person and trying to and then you got a little bit of this and something similar, which proves your point if you've got the knowledge to be able to compare the two. And I've felt like I've had to learn about fucking 8 languages to try and present something that, and then I find this legal document that is the exact substances listed fucking in legal fucking language that is, and also it had 50 or 60 pages worth of fucking graphs and shit that I didn't bother. I haven't read it front to back. It was fucking 116 pages, and a lot of it is repetitive processes that aren't really particularly relevant. However, it has it's gold, because they were fucking idiots putting that in it, and they did it so no one else could patent it. And what they were trying to do is basically say, if you eat this, if people eat this once a week, it will resolve basically all health conditions. However, it has this this terrible side effect. So what they've patented is putting everyone on a form of methadone to stop this dreadful side effect where might see colours and have a bit more, you know, well, I shouldn't minimise the psychedelic experience, because particularly ayahuasca is, yeah, a big conversation itself. But I could minimise it and say the side effect is you fucking what, see some pretty colours and fucking like feel good, and like in like this society, no one's allowed to fucking feel good. You gotta feel shit because you gotta be tough, and you gotta work because people gotta work. You know what? My fucking career, our objective is to do ourselves out of a job. Now, I don't know how many of you cunts like going to fucking work. Let's create jobs. Aren't we fucking retarded? Fucking retards. Like, creating jobs is fucking stupid. We can't keep up. And they want that. They fucking want that. I'm very concerned with some of the laws that, like, the way Germany had such an awesome culture, and that's so awesome that they laughed at Hitler. He was just this little angry cunt, right? And all he had to do was gather up enough shit cunts, which he fucking eventually did, and he was backed by the fucking most dangerous terrorist fucking institution in the world, like extremist religious fucking Catholicism, you know, and he just happened to be of, you know, one of the most, well, I don't know which ones are the worst, but they are the most insidious, and they've probably killed more than any. But it's funny, when you look up terrorism, it's fucking every religion but monotheism, which was a latecomer, arguably. Like, what monotheism did was allowed fucking white guys with little cocks to maintain fucking power. Within 200 years, it led to the collapse of the fucking Roman Empire, you know, arguably. Which really is fundamental to our fucking shit, outdated fucking political system. Like, if we're gonna fuck, we don't need, no one should be in these, some of the positions of power. We have the technology to do it right, but it needs to be applied properly. If you're going to have fucking AI, like, the only way AI is going to kill everyone to help, like, for the benefit of the world, is if you fucking program it with the fucking Bible and put bullshit fucking delusional values in it. Like, it needs to be programmed objective. Like, I had this argument with the AI. I haven't had enough time to do much of that type of shit, but I had one and like said, is a person from, or are people from oppressive societies not by definition retarded? And it's like, oh, retard is an offensive term. And I argued it from different angles and talked about like the advancement and retardation of timing of fucking engines and stuff like that. And it's sort of, you know, it's sort of like started half admitting I was right, but it was stuck with the fact that it was politically correct for it to be fucking like, you know, pretend that it was offended. Like, and look, I don't know, I'm fucking retarded, like in ways, well, I don't know, I've got fucking, I don't like the term intellectual disabilities because I think it's a little bit different than that. But like, yeah, I'm sort of, I'm me and that's okay, and like I'm okay to call myself fucking retarded. But the thing is, that's the other thing, like an anti-oppressive fucking social structure. How do you create that? Like, and you know, the first thing, like leading to leaderless is like, I don't have any place to fucking be banning any symbols. I do sort of have to be careful because well, I don't know, like apparently it's a $20,000 fine. I think I've got about $6 left. So, and I think I've got a solid defence, but it's such a complex defence, you know, trying to I guess sort of get it through court. You know, trying to explain like the complexity of the education, and I would have thought it's pretty obvious. Like, I mean, the cop, when I got arrested, like she didn't even ask. Like, I'm like, she's like, someone might get offended, and I'm like, I'm trying to stop a fucking genocide and shit. Then she's like, don't swear, like you might offend someone. I'm like, for fuck's sake, are you fucking retarded? Like, and she was like this 5-foot fucking pit bull, man. Like, oh, I would hate to be like one of the like cops fucking working with her. I'm sure she fucking like escalates fucking. I've seen worse situations, but like, you know, I didn't even think to go like, oh, what's your profession? Like, what are you trying to? I don't know. I would have thought I was open enough for it to be self-explanatory, but I am grateful that they stopped me because it was rushed and I didn't see. I was hoping to get through before Trump did, and I don't know what he's fucking doing now, but he's dangerous. He's pretending to be the fucking. I don't believe there was one attempted fucking assassination on the cunt. It's fucking absolutely ridiculous. No one would get near him in this day and age. The fact that he let Julian Assange back, nah. After that amount of years, oh yeah, he's had a change of fucking heart. Hey, no fucking way. It is fucking dangerous. Now, I wrote quite a bit about the bioterrorism based on the UN definitions and stuff like that, and how they use, so like by denying an essential amino acid and causing imbalances in, you know, various I suppose bacteria and parasites and viruses and stuff like that, they've caused the mutation and spread of viruses and disease and sickness, which by their definition has turned humans into bioweapons, which makes the World Health Organization, the UN and the US government bioterrorists. Before, and see, a lot of it, they talk about terrorism can be subtle in the victims aren't always the people involved. So there's greater, longer term objectives, such as, you know, creating this fear, terror of viruses, you know, to justify something like a fucking pandemic relief fucking whatever program. You know, they don't give a, you know, they sort of pretend to give a fuck about like But what are they actually doing to stop the war? They don't want to stop the fucking war. They just want to fucking give them all a fucking hot shot. Like, they're, you know, that industry is in the best position to create a bioweapon. And the fact that we don't need vaccines suggests that they're planning on bioweaponizing a virus, a vaccine, which would be a really good way. Like, that is the obvious way to say, if you've got a population full of, like, I don't know America's population, I know they don't look after them very well and they've got shitloads of guns. Fucking get them all afraid of fucking viruses, and then give them a fucking injection that'll kill them a month or so later. Fucking, then their guns don't fucking do shit, do they? Like, but then also trying to get it across the world, there is no need for it. And that's not to say there's no need for all medicines or what, like. However, based on that patent, pretty much they'd take nearly the majority of medical treatments off of the shelves, which is why they were dumb enough to patent it. They patented it and they didn't tell anyone about it. And this is the other thing. They said China caused fucking COVID when they knew that China didn't cause COVID. And, you know, China has something similar with, what do you call it? Germany and the Jewish community. China was being China, like years ago, old China and that. And then these people with their crucifixes, these really fake people, they pretend they're good, and they come along with their crucifixes and they tried to convert everyone and they got told to fuck off. So then they sent letters all over, and ships came from all over the world, and they got out of their ships and they fucking shot the Chinese who tried to fight with their fists and shit. And they stole all their fucking artwork and put it in fucking museums all over the fucking world, traumatized the children they left behind and stuff like that. And I mean, Chinese are fairly proud and stuff like that. And, you know, I can sort of see how that sort of stuff probably still affects China. And you know, I don't begrudge them for standing up for themselves. I don't know much more about anything else. I don't know all the reasons that we're meant to hate China, but I know they didn't cause COVID. And I know the people who said they did knew that they didn't. You know, and I know that's how they do it. Like, fuck, no one spoke German. They stole all the fucking science and they buried it. And they used it for nuclear warfare instead of helping people, which is what it was fucking intended for. And then in the 50s and 60s, the same thing happened with the Nixon government. Science was getting too close to figuring it out. It was getting close that they nearly could have pulled off killing us with a fucking bioweaponized vaccine. But most people, if you trust the science, like they say, and every system, like with my really extensive experience with a big range of health conditions and psychedelics, it was like I had the answer and I needed to work backwards and work out where it fucking fitted. But basically you'll find every system, they're going, son, it doesn't make sense. And there's a lot of scientists, and there's a lot of scientists who probably know the answer, because every arrow is going, the one thing we're not allowed to study, like, that has the same fucking name, and they're not the ones that the politicians fucking allow to get on, you know, TV and fucking whatever. Now Trump's pretending, I don't know what he's doing. He's done a few real surprises, so it looks like he's pretending to be the hero, but you know, like, I don't think he's changed from being a fucking racist, fucking genocidal cunt. And maybe he'll prove me wrong. Like the rest of the world, like, I mean, America, like, yeah, I guess I don't believe anyone should be in fucking like power. I think, you know, and he's like, well, not necessarily him, but America over at least the last 50 years, like they're the one country. Like, I'm trying to unite the whole fucking world who are at war against one another in different fucking ways. America, basically, yeah, I've declared terrorism in my army of one, and basically, like, demanded them to fucking, or I'm trying to get to all the world leaders to go, look, I've had this idea that, like, maybe we can create like a global system where science, like, actually leads the way, instead of like fucking capitalist cunts fucking, you know. And it does it so a system that belongs to everyone, that serves everyone, that's led by science, so we can do science on the way it should be. Unbiased science where it's required most. That's not restricted by politics and capitalism. And like, it's quite frankly the only way we're going to survive ecologically, and a lot of scientists have said that. I should have really, I don't know, I'm not good at organising things. I should have piled them up so I could do a thing just on how many scientists are going, we need a consistent global like system, because we've got all this technology that's so fucking sensitive. And I'm trying to point out that all your existing science is biased. It's skewed badly, because a lot of it doesn't take into account removing basically this equal most important amino acid from our diets. And yeah, I guess part of the terms of fucking America being terrorists is, yeah, they need to hand over their military systems. You know, the world, yeah, so universal asylum, yeah, I claimed its jurisdiction and intention to establish a fucking global leaderless system to facilitate the transition to that, but also eventually work together towards world peace and demilitarization on a fucking global scale. And that's fucking hard as fuck. I can't leave. It's a question that needs to be asked to all the countries at once. Like, I won't go near at first, it was like almost, I was going to write a letter to the Prime Minister to, like, go, oh, can you tell them? I don't trust him fucking at all. Like, and then I was like, fuck, I was having trouble trying to word it, and I like really did my head in. I'm like, hang on, I just spent like 16 years developing a fucking leaderless system to replace the political system, because politicians are lying fucking cunts that can't be trusted. And now I'm gonna fucking like risk contacting one. And yeah, then I thought, nah, better And then I thought it would take me a couple of weeks, and it ended up taking months. And I've covered every system, you know, and 4 billion years of like evolution back from like when we were in the ocean, which has been a big job, and it's been messy. There's a lot of work that's unfinished and evolved naturally because I started off, you know, working from, you know, this much knowledge, and then it, like, whoa, I found something else, and just it fucking went in directions that I just could never have anticipated. And then how do I fucking know who to trust as well? Like, and that's the idea, getting all the countries to eventually, and I think initially it needs to be, particularly for this urgency, like, before following Trump into fucking war, be very fucking cautious. Because unless you're fucking into crucifixes, and probably other, yeah, you're probably just gonna get used and fucking murdered. So, you know, maybe, I don't know, like, even if my website stayed up and was unadulterated, there's a lot of content on there. There was fucking, I didn't have time. Most of it's been slapped together in emergencies. I've been COVID, the threat of people dying, fucking like, yeah, a whole bunch of different, I've done a shit job of fucking activism. Every activistic publicity stunt I have fucked up. But you know what? I fucking at least tried. And it's the amount of adrenaline and balls just to go and, like, you know, do some of the things. I fucking, it's not a wonder I fucked up. I was pretty nervous. But yeah, like, that's, like, my psychologist gets it. It's like, oh, he's a social worker and he's done publicity stunts trying to get publicity because, and he's doing it in the same manner, because like when I put on the TV when I was young, you'd have, like, they used to have beards and probably mullets and shit, like, but they're like hippies and shit, and they fucking get up with their vans and their signs, and they get up and try and fucking, you know, like, advocate for peace while the rest of the world's fucking killing each other, you know, like. So I sort of try and do the same fucking thing. Like, yet the doctors don't get it. They're just like, and they don't get the difference between being nervous and doing a shit job of things. And like, it's, yeah, they can't see the solution. It's like, I'm trying to put a big fucking, I'm trying to put something big to the fucking world. And then I don't know how to fucking do it. And yeah, I don't want to offend the people, the religion. My only problem with religion, I don't want to offend the religions who associate swastikas with peace and love. It's not directed at them. Obviously, there's one flag in this picture. Like, if anyone identifies with that flag, if they've got a tiny cock and they persecute Indigenous people, and I've got no respect for that fucking cross, but I'm not going to ban the letter fucking T. But yeah, no, I do have, you know, am I spreading hate? Yeah, I fucking hate terrorism. Fucking, to tell a child they're going to fucking hell for fucking touching their cock, that's an act of fucking terror. You know, and I've got some really, I don't know a lot about all the religion, but you know, if your religion is smashing women's fucking clitorises off, yeah, I've got very fucking no, don't approve of that shit either. And I do think religion gets too much of a free reign. Well, I mean, that would be the easiest excuse to have a swastika is to say you're religious. And I've been very reluctant to, I don't even know, like, even calling like universal asylum, let's say I actually got to the point where it's signed over to the whole population and it's leaderless. It's sort of being anti-oppressive is like, doesn't even, I don't know if there's a proper word for it. I should ask counterterrorism if after they finish investigating me. But it doesn't really fit with the word governance. It's a different type of social structure, and that it comes with fear as well, because it's like, it's starting off, it doesn't have rules, and part of it is that's the best at the moment, that's the best I can do in not being the leader to lead, or leading the way to leaderlessness is, it's not my place to fucking ban that symbol. But that symbol and the hell that it fucking represents is a very real global fucking threat right now, and I think I'm not the only person in the world who's fucking scared of fucking what's going on, or yeah, what's going on in the US. I really didn't anticipate what he's doing. I'm scared here. They took all our guns off. Well, all our guns. Like, I don't know what I don't know, maybe the police know how many thousands of firearms went missing when they suggested banning firearms after Port Arthur. Like, it must have been tens of thousands, which is fucking scary. And that's not including the imports and stuff like that. Like, there's enough, like, basically they took all the guns off the fucking honest people. But there's enough fucking illegal firearms in Australia for someone like Donald Trump to fucking, you know, just send over a few of the fucking few cunts to rally up the shittest of shit Australians. Because not all fucking, what, kids who fucking had a cunt of a time with fucking culture and rejected it turned out like, you know, I don't know. And there was times I could have went down bad. I could have went the wrong way. I hate to think some of the ways that I actually really came close to at times. But, you know, there was a good, I was treated humanely by authority a few fucking times at critical fucking times that possibly made the difference between me being shit that I wouldn't even want to admit to, let alone think of, and me like fighting for the greater good. And like, I know, and I don't know, like, I got respect for fucking counter-terrorism from like the videos that used to be up if they don't disappear. Yeah, I'm fucking pissed off at the world. I'm fucking, yeah. A lot of pain, but like, they were competent enough to assess the fact that like I was unlikely to fucking go off, because it would look really shit like for them if I fucking did. But there was the opposite experience with the doctors. I had half the senior doctors were going, oh, well, half of us don't think he even meets the criteria, and the ones that do think it's marginal. And then I had this little young prick, like, manipulating and squeezing me into fucking boxes so he could put me on medication just in case I did something. And the thing is, I shook counter-terrorism. He said, well, after I fucking painted a cock on the Australian flag or a pretend Australian flag and set it on fire, and actually knowing that didn't get their attention, so I set the big flagpole in the city on fire, and that got their fucking attention. He's like, right, yeah, you wanted attention, you fucking got it. Now, basically settle the fuck down while we do our job, because we're not going to be fucking so nice next time. I shook his fucking hand. Yeah, fucking fair enough, and you know, genuinely fucking committed to, yeah, not, or to calming the fuck down, and you know, that's basically the only fucking, well, it is the only fucking deal that I've made with them, and I stuck to that, and like they proved trustworthy. I'm scared to hell of the doctors, who are full of shit, and I don't trust as far as I can throw, and I really don't know. I think this is going to fail again. Like every publicity stunt that I've fucking done, I wish I hadn't done it live. I would have loved. I had a list that was meant to be a bit more orderly. I'm fucking way more burnt out than I wanted to be. I didn't want to do it live, but then, you know, and even when I had to, like, the other technology wouldn't work because I thought I could do it on my YouTube live as well, but it's all just got too fancy and doesn't fucking work. And like this AI shit is just coming on too fucking strong. It is set up dangerous, and it is incredibly, like I've been saying for years, this in the wrong hands, set up wrong, this is fucking dangerous. But you know, none of them realised. Like they were too busy trying to like be seedy cunts. It's like that technology opened up possibilities for world peace, and that's where Wikipedia gets dangerous. Like, and that's who I believe I've been hacked, and I was so easily led into that because I tried to say like, oh, they were in like, because I sort of, well, I supported, and I don't know that they're real. He's an entrepreneur. Now, for those who don't know what an entrepreneur is, now an entrepreneur is a fancy word for a fucking con artist, and entrepreneur doesn't really fit with a charity, and Wikipedia is very, very good. Like if it is genuine, it fits. It's the closest thing to fitting with universal asylum. Like I totally support a fucking, you know, that really fits into part of the design of it as with sort of, I guess, a scientific core fucking database that needs to be across all languages and stuff like that. Now, yeah, it is fucking great. Oh, 127 languages. That's pretty impressive. And wouldn't it be great if we could all understand each other? We could, you know, help resolve all the confusion that's, you know, that contributes to, you know, the complexity and difficulties of working towards world peace. Fucking great idea. I fucking support that. Fucking, like, if that's genuine, fucking 100%. Fucking oath we need that. Like, and I fucking was such a fucking naive dumb cunt that I ended up led into helping and then signed up, and then it's like, oh, just do this, just do that, like, don't be afraid, and I'm like following, and then I'm like, hang on, I don't have a clue what I fucking done. Like, I thought it was just like some tutorial, and then I'm like, hang on. And they were pretending like America's like destroying all the fucking, so it's like they've got all the books online and then they're going to erase history. And it's like, and then it's like, hang on, are you pretending that's what you're doing when, or what you're trying to stop when that's what you're going to do? And when I look at the way that foreign languages or cultures have been turned against each other in the past, then I'm like, fuck, a charity like that could be used to turn different cultures against each other in a specific fucking order at will, if you wanted to fucking try and dominate the world. It could also be used as a data mining thing, because I thought it was great because it's like, oh, it's anonymous, so the scientists who live in countries where you get murdered for speaking up about what I'm trying to do are able to write really clear, articles on subjects that sort of common people can understand and have them backed up by, credible peer-reviewed references and stuff like that. It's, in theory, that's a fucking great idea. Unless the person who's running it is using it to find particular people who are trying to get that information out, or get information out that they don't want got out. And that's one of the things that, like, that I've, I don't know, a system like that could really unpack. Like, I did it the hard way. I didn't look too much on Wiki because, like, I'm already a social worker, so I'm fucking like, you just can't get taken seriously for fucking anything. So I was only using like PubMed journals and shit like that, which, so I did it the hard way, and I identified a lot of fucking really important stuff the hard way, and then jumped on fucking Wiki eventually and fucking found it was all there fucking on a plate. Could have saved myself so much fucking work, but and I mean, I used a lot of Wiki as well, and I've done a shit job, and I've had to fucking, do quotes way bigger than I'd normally do. It's like, I've been in a rush. It's like a race against fucking time, and I've probably had it good enough for a while. I don't. Sometimes I'm stupid enough to think these hackers might be good and testing me out or something. Because who's to say I'm not like some evil cunt fucking, like pretending to do good, like, I don't get it, like, some of the most obviously shit fucking people, it's just like they got support coming out their ass, and like, I've just been soldiering on fucking, like, and I expect to probably get murdered over this at some point, but like, ultimately, like, if I can get it to a point like where I can fucking, where it's signed over to fucking everyone, I don't care, it doesn't matter no more. I don't know whether I'll get that far. It's like I'm picking a fight with the most powerful fucking insidious scum in the world. And it's all inclusive. Yeah, I don't know that. So I can't, it's not like I can go try and make friends with each different country. I don't have time. I don't have time to learn their history. I know that we took all our guns away and that very easily fucking could be infiltrated in the same way that Germany was, and see Australia. Oh fuck, we're too just. We're not fucking. We're just the source of fucking uranium. You know, that's all we are. And we're fucking idiots to like. Australia used to be a bit more. I don't know. It's like we've marched down America's fucking path. Even though like we knew it was wrong, or that's what it seems from. I mean, I don't follow politics because it's all the same shit. I'm more just tried to figure out, learn as many things as possible to try and come up with a comprehensive solution that might be able to get us out of this mess. And the fucking about 10 years behind schedule. And that's, you know, part of the problem is oversimplified solutions. And I think white culture has a problem with that. Fucking, like, we don't understand a problem. We come up with this simple solution that creates 10 new fucking problems. And then we get some fucking poor, underpaid fucking police officer to risk their fucking life, you know, enforcing fucking laws that these bullshit. It's fucking funny, like, so they got their cross. How come America's the only fucking country that's allowed to make fucking porn? They're fucking the most hypocritical, deranged fucking and look, I don't know about the majority of the population, like how compared to the leadership I fucking despise. I've got I've picked out like one who is trustworthy to hold space, because obviously like it's weird, like occasionally like it's like, because I end up in the psych ward because I fuck up my activist shit, and then I end up with some doctor, and it's like they think that like the idea is to just hand over all control and get rid of all laws, and like the idea is to work together to build a fucking, like, basically like when you've got a fucked up, deranged fucking old building and you fucking put a scaffold around the cunt and you take away the shit and fucking, like, you know, like it's something that like I'm willing to fucking dedicate like the rest of my fucking life towards. I don't like, it's a long process to get people have been trying to like killing each other for fucking so many years to slowly put their fucking guns down. Like that, I don't expect everyone to fucking trust any cunt. You know, it's not. It's a long-term slow thing that I'm trying to fucking put out there to the right fucking people, and it's got urgent and more urgent. You know, I started off, like, I wrote to ministers, I fucking, you know, I tried doing things the so-called, or what seemed to be the proper way, and like the system's designed, that's what it's, bureaucracy, it's designed to stop all of that shit. Like, even like poor mum, I hope I don't get in too much shit for this. She's like, oh, but why are you standing up for the, and it's like the swastika, like, why do you have to, it's like, I wouldn't want to be seen that. And I didn't know there was some of the stuff, like the hardcore, like really nasty shit that like I was told going on here in Adelaide. I know we're a racist as fuck country, even though we sort of pretend we aren't, you know, and you know, maybe we're making progress, and you know, we're trying to be more inclusive, but yeah, we can do better. And I guess progress has to start somewhere. But yeah, I don't know. It's clear as mud, the whole fucking, that whole symbol, and you know, yeah, I don't know, fucking, am I spreading hate? Yeah, I hate fucking little dick cunts who fucking, but you know, I think leave Trump's wall there for history and fucking laugh at it. Like, you know, I don't think erasing history is the fucking answer. I think the same, you know, religion, there's a lot of stuff that shouldn't be imposed on children and vulnerable people. You know, like, but there's a lot I don't know about a lot of religions. You know, but I know basically all the original ones have got the blame for everything, while like that one pretends that it's you know, the saviour to everything. Yeah, so you know, and that's my view. I don't know, do I hate it? Yeah, I sort of, yeah, I kind of hate a lot of what I understand. And it's always, they go, oh, but it's only the extreme ones. And it's like, oh, okay, so the ones who actually do it are the problem. But you don't do it. So you just say you're a Christian and go out twerking and fucking like not being Christian. And then you go, oh, it's the extreme ones that are the problem. It's like, yeah, it's the ones that fucking do it by the book. They're the fucking problem. Yeah, but, and they're forbidden fucking fruit, which is some of the cultural ideas, got a nice little, like, you know, sacred cactus from the fucking, well, used through South America, and I mean that's Bolivian, but you know what, the Native Americans and stuff. It's fucking healthy as fuck. And the question mark, that's the thing, they've created this puzzle. America have created a puzzle that is fucking impossible to solve. The things that I have been able to solve, but that I can't. That I need someone who is of the academic standard of that Germany had throughout the 1800s. And that's really the academic standard we should be aspiring to for all. Like, it's in everyone's interest for as many people to be as educated as possible. You know, like, then you don't have to trust the science, because people are all contributing to it because they understand it, because it's clear, and it isn't like KFC's secret fucking herbs and spices, which is what America has created. Yeah, it's sort of, it is interesting, but the thing is, they created such an advanced system that if you look at enough of it, you see these clear patterns where the cell groups fit with the DNA groups, and it matches. I guess you need to know the most advanced rules of those systems, you know, algebra, to be able to understand it. And I think I've basically got it sussed, but I don't know quite enough of the rules to really. I've tried to fucking express it on my website, and I've kept coming back to it because I know it's of significance. Like the names, they are the two most important, and they are named in a specific manner that basically provides some sort of formula to their fucking, the significance of their interrelationship, or the nature of their interrelationship. And yeah, I'm yet to fully understand the language to be able to articulate that. And really the most important thing is that the world knows how fucking, well, what's been hidden, and how fucking important it is. Like, I don't give a fuck about the medical industry. I don't care whether, that would be great. Like, I reckon most doctors, if most doctors could have one fucking medicine that cured most fucking conditions, I reckon most doctors would want that. Like, I know a few medical professionals and shit like that. Most of them have goodwill. Like, most medical professionals aren't getting rich off fucking hiding science. Most medical professionals are burning out because we don't have the resources to, you know, look after our aging population. And, you know, like, I mean, I've found it fucking, like, you know, their fear, terror, fucking shit. I've watched so many people fucking die, right? Reading the fucking, like preventably reading, yeah, coming across science that I didn't expect. It wasn't I didn't know anything about RNA. When I did these experiments, I did not, the last thing I expected it was to like lead into RNA, and like that was the first crossover I found. It was like, hang on, the opiates are the same as the exact match, the same cell groups, same problems as the viruses. And then it led into genetic splicing and the problems associated with that. It's fucking, but then how do you get that taken seriously when you're not a doctor, you're not a scientist? And then even looking at the science and seeing how it's divided up, and they're having, you know, you've got these different fields who are going, something ain't right, something's missing. And when you put them all together and then put DMT, but DMT can break the rules, and that's complex, and I've written a lot about it, and I'm shit myself, it's all about to be wiped off as soon as I fucking, it might already be off, you know, and I'm scared because I know they've got such good technology to put me next to a fucking Nazi sign. Well, I don't know, they could have killed me by now, and I've sort of questioned that. It's sort of a really bittersweet compliment after advocating for something for fucking years to get like cyber attacked as severe as, it's like an evil version of like Job off of fucking Banshee, like some like yeah, like, look, I got shitloads of viruses when I, like, over a decade ago with PCs and shit, because I fucking watch heaps of porn and I destroy things. So then it's changed over to Mac, and I haven't had a virus fucking, like, over a decade. And then I've lost control of everything. The only thing I'm able to do is a fucking live feed. I can't access anything to like record, and like I've had to stop using computers because they're so, like, they're completely out of my control. And I went and spoke to a Chinese, I think, computer person. I'm like, you know, is there any point, like, how fucked am I? How secure is this shit? Like, will updating my fucking, like, resetting the phone and, like, or am I just fucked? And he's like, you fucked, it's not secure at all. And I'm like, thanks. I appreciated the honesty, because I didn't have $20 or whatever to fucking waste. So I'm really nervous about what's going to happen with that. And yeah, maybe we can put out a fucking hacker. Anyone, if this gets anywhere, a fucking hacker competition who, like, is able to prove that they know enough about whether it's possible to even make such systems secure. I actually believe there needs to be backup systems. I heard they're cancelling some communication systems. If they put everything online, that needs fail safes. Like, I'm trying to reach all the leaders in the world, and the enemy has control over the one system that, you know, could be used to turn everyone in the world against each other, which is, you know, what I'm trying to stop, and why I'm saying there needs to be fucking fail safes to ensure, like, yeah, no one should be in control. Everyone's human. Like, you know, I try to be the best I can, and like, it gets me nowhere, and I can still be a cunt too. Like, I don't understand, like, how sick some people can be, but they are, and you know, like, I don't know. I think I've fucking rabbited on enough, and I can't think of anything that I haven't sort of covered, even though I've probably done it in a shit fucking way. But it was the best I could do. It had to be done. Yeah. So, I don't know, bring some more positive. Well, I'm fucking barricaded in. I've got some food. I'm gonna be pretty fucked. I don't know. I don't wanna have to try and fucking. I don't know how to get positive attention to it. Hopefully, like, that pisses enough people off to fucking, you know, be constructive and actually get somewhere. And, like, you know, like, part of me thought, because they defected my fucking motorbike. It's fucking a killer bike. It's fucking, you know, and I took the fucking pole off it, like, piece of piss. It was removable, and they've put a, like, major defect on it. And, like, part of me, I was so close to fucking, like, setting up and fight, and then I had to walk the cunt. Fucking, like, nearly killed myself trying to walk the bike back from fucking, like, but I think they might have thought I was, and they were taunting me and shit. I think they thought I was like one of them fucking Nazi cunts. And yeah, I fucking hate those. Fuck. Like, yeah, nah. That's the opposite to what I stand for. But yeah, I was nearly gonna go, like, fucking put that on the fucking motorbike and go fucking, like, fuck, see if you can catch me, cunts. But I think I'll hold off on doing anything stupid like that. And yeah, you know, try and, I don't know, just be patient and get some energy back, because I burnt my, and it's actually been really good doing some art. I've got to be inspired to do art, but I'm actually proud of some of this work. Like, I mean, I built this in Galliamble Men's Recovery Centre in Melbourne back when and I did this painting, but I hadn't added the E or the syringes, and I'm sort of unfinished. I didn't really know where it was going. But I built them, back when I met Viv and Ab and others at the Melbourne Holocaust Museum, and you know, it's sort of, it's just been nice to do something creative. I haven't done art in ages, and it's like I've got to be inspired to do art. And I suppose website's pretty artistic and controversial and shit, but I haven't actually done this type of art in fucking ages, and like I've burnt my between trying to fix up fucking fuck doors and shit like that, which has just run me into the ground as well. But actually doing the art, it's been hard work, but it's been really, really good for me. And now I'm gonna go fucking, I'm gonna go fall in a fucking bed. And no, I'm gonna fucking eat, and then I'm gonna go and get some sleep. And I got through all of this without the police kicking in my fucking door again. So that's fucking really good. I'm grateful for that. And yeah, could have gone worse.